with over 50 years of combined expertise, experience, and success in the planning, design, installation, and maintenance of reliable networking solutions. Real Grip. Real Grip is a simple yet effective custom rubber slip-on grip designed to add comfort and ergonomics to your favorite fishing bait cast reel. Now with 2 versions, our grips fit a larger variety of bait cast and spinning reels. We also developed our new rod grip that slides over the fishing rod handles to add instant grip and comfort to your rod handle. From fishing pros like Dave Lefebvre to the Saturday afternoon bluegill enthusiast, Real Grip is a sure hit for any angler looking for an edge over the competition. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. At Mercury Marine, we understand why you love being on the water, and that's why we do what we do. Engineer, build, and provide the best marine power in the world. Since 1939, our passion for quality, performance, and value has been matched only by our customers. Nitro Boats. Driven to be the best, it's our passion. When Bass Pro Shops founder Johnny Morris introduced the industry's first fully rigged boat, motor, and trailer package in 1978, he created a legacy of providing breakthrough values to anglers everywhere. Nitro Boats are available at every Bass Pro Shop, Track, or Boat Center location, as well as a nationwide network of independent dealers. As a Nitro owner, you'll have access to one of the largest and best service organizations. Clear Lake Cottages on the Rideau System, Newborough, Ontario. Your host, Chris and Wendy Cadu, will make sure your visit on the rustic waterfront cottages is the best it can be. 6 cottages overlooking Clear Lake, with their own docks so that you can dock your boat. Clear Lake Cottages is clearly the place to stay when in Newborough. Welcome back. Just in case you're tuning in on the show today, we have Doug Hyde, General Manager of George's Marine and Sports out of their Kingston, Ontario location. Doug, before the break, I mentioned about, you had mentioned that one of the product lines that George's carried was the pleasure boats, was the Regal and the Bayliner, and can you kind of quickly tell us the types of boats they have and the 2 product lines?
Sure. Well, Bayliner, first of all, I'm sure we can all agree, is one of the most famous and well-known brands of bow riders that most folks know of. When you say bow riders, 17 to 23 feet, you think Bayliner, you recognize that name. So we're very proud to carry the line in that respect because it's so well-known and it sells itself to a large degree. And then with Regal is another fantastic company out of Florida, and just the fit and finish, the attention to detail, the options available on Regals from 19 all the way to 53 feet if you wanted to is terrific. They're just a great company, and their attention to detail, their fit and finish, the overall quality, the ride, the availability of cruiser configurations, their Sport Coupe series, their new 32 came out this year with the king-size bed in the aft cabin, which if any of your listeners know about owning a cabin cruiser, that's a big deal as far as space in the aft cabin for guests or kids or just room to maneuver. So we're very proud to carry both lines. They both have their purpose as far as people budgets or people who are looking for a certain kind of appointment level, or people who are looking for a deck boat versus a pointed, like a traditional bow rider. Cruisers, that's the beauty of having these 2 lines side by side, is that we've got a boat for everybody.
Well, you really do. Not only do you have the fishing side taken care of with Tracker, Nitro, and Crestliner, but now you got the pleasure boat side taken care of. Again, because we're limited here with time, I guess would you say bow riders is probably the most popular of the boats that you try to sell, that you guys sell?
Well, on the fiberglass side, yes, I would say the size anywhere between 17, like the Bayliner 175, up to the Regal 23 and 25. Those are beautiful boats too. So that tends to be the most popular from a volume standpoint. We have a lot of people who are interested in that segment.
Right.
But when we're going over boats, like I know when you try and sell somebody a boat, it sounds so one direction. It's not with us. I ask a lot of questions. In fact, I joke with people that I tend to ask more questions than I answer at the beginning when I get to know folks, because I'd like to know what their boating needs are. And that's the question I often ask is, if you could create your own boat, if you had an order sheet, a blank sheet of paper, and you were to create your own boat for Baylander to build or for Regal to build, what would it be, as far as options and things you'd like the boat to do for you, and what do you want to do with your boat? That, to me, is the first stage in finding out, okay, what kind of boating do you want? And then I can help point them in directions and give them lots of choices, because it's not about selling something you want to sell them or you think they should have. It's all about what they want their boat to do for you, and it's a very good chance we've got it. We just need to figure out, what their needs are, to make sure that the next morning when that boat is at their dock or in their driveway, that they're looking at it thinking, Doug helped me, and the staff at George's helped me to find out what my boating needs were, and what percentage of time I spend the most doing, so that I get the best value for my money and for the time I spend on the water. And it's fun when you ask, because it gets people excited. It gets them imagining what it is, I'd really love to water ski, or I'd really like to just cruise, or take my kids tubing, or go camping, or etc. So when you have these conversations, you can't help but get people excited about getting into boating, and especially with their next boat, because they know that from George's they're getting, the one that suits them best for what they want to do for them.
Wow, that's good, because I know, I've worked several boat shows over the years, and as have you, and you meet a lot of people and looking to buy their first boat. So I guess you kind of already answered that question. Is what would you tell our listeners that happen to be in the market for, say, their first bow rider?
Well, what I encounter sometimes is, by asking a few more questions and giving some of my experience, you actually get people thinking, well, you know what? I never thought about that one. I never considered that. I never thought that maybe I needed a bigger vehicle if I want to tow a bigger boat, or I never thought that perhaps I should have a bigger motor if I want to, if the average number of people any given time in my boat is 5 or 6. And the joke I often use to people is, you have to leave room for those folks who don't know you have a new boat yet, because they're going to want to come with you too. And it's a funny story or funny analogy, but it's true. You need to think a little bit about, if you're going to have, for example, if you're going to water ski with your son or daughter, well, you're probably going to have 2 or 3 in the boat, and it's their turn next, so you need to leave room for them, and then those who want to take photos, and a sister or an uncle. And it's all great. It's so much fun to talk about this with folks, because I do it myself. We're all boaters here at the Kingston store, and I'm sure at the other 2 stores there, everybody's got a passion for this. So we kind of know, we're being boaters too, we want to make sure that first-time boaters think about that, and it's a great problem to have. It's just, you got to make sure that we have these discussions early on, so that, again, we can get them pointed towards the best boat for them.
Right. So yeah, you brought up a lot of good points that even for myself didn't even think about. I guess being in the fishing, I'm only worried about myself and maybe one other person in the boat, maybe 2, but that's about it. But so if I'm coming out to buy a boat, I need to look at my tow vehicle. Would be very important.
That's right, and that's something that typically happens at the very end of it, isn't it? When somebody's done the sea trial and everything's great and they're so excited, and then they come to pick up their boat to take away. Well, let's have that conversation earlier, and let's not discover that, perhaps we need to have that conversation at the very beginning. If you've got an F-150, well, that's great. If you have a Chevy Sprint, well, then that'll change things too.
Right.
So,
yeah.
It's all about the mechanics of the whole thing, and being boaters ourselves and towing every day like we do here at the dealership. We think about these things in case first-time boaters haven't. We want to make sure it's a completely amazing experience, and the tow vehicle and the day-to-day things of getting it from their driveway to the launch ramp and vice versa has to be included in the discussion, because it's all about making it fun and as least amount of stress as possible, and just a great experience. That's what we're all about.
Well, excellent. So basically, you've covered bow riders. Do you guys offer? Is there any deck boats? I know just fishing from lake to lake, I see more and more deck boats out. Can you describe to people who may not know what a deck boat is? Is it it's not a party boat, but what's the benefits, or what is a deck boat?
Most of the deck boats out on the market now are fiberglass. There are a few aluminum, but they are smaller in number. The vast majority are fiberglass. What we love about Bayliner, a bunch of things we love about Bayliner's deck boats is they've got, again, same as everything else in the Bayliner line, is value for your money is first and foremost. Secondly, we've actually got a promotion on right now where we've purchased year-end clearance from Bayliner of their 190s and their 210s. So they're 19-foot deck boats and they're 210, which is 21-foot outboard, both outboard powered. And again, value for your money, and the way these boats are equipped is just is great. I'd be hard pressed to say you need anything more with the options these boats have on them. With 115 horsepower, 4-strokes, or 150s, outboard powered, so a lot less maintenance every year. Self-draining, so you can boat into the fall a little bit easier without having to be worried about winterizing. Just value for your money. You know, the thing about deck boats is we joke sometimes that they're the SUV of boats. They just tend to do even more than the conventional bow rider would, because the bow is flared out a bit more before it forms a point. So as a result, you get a bit more seating in the front, a lot more room in them as a result, in the bow and the cockpit. You also get a bow deck, a non-skid bow deck, similar to the ones at the stern, with a recessed ladder. So those who want to swim off the bow, who might have an aversion to swimming near the engine, or just want to swim out near where the anchor is thrown, it's just perfect. You know, I have younger kids, and when we're out, we just envision them getting up on the deck, diving off, getting up the ladder, back on the deck, diving off, and repeat 20 times.
Right.
Without having to come into the cockpit and get it wet or bring your wet swimsuit in. So they really are a more all-in-one boat than a conventional bow rider, but yet they still look like one, and the boats we have now are like very significant dollars off of Bayliner's suggested retail price, so they're really priced to move. We bought a lot of them for this very aggressive sale into the fall, and we invite people to give us a call here at any 3 stores to inquire more about them. They really are good value, even more value for your money now.
Well, that's me. So from your description, I would take it as it's like a. Would you say it's kind of a bow rider pontoon boat put together, with the space of the pontoon boat?
There are some deck boats that are side consoles, but the ones we've ordered have a windshield. And so the ones that are side console, which are available, they are typically like a pontoon boat that goes faster. That's kind of how I've turned them. They have the seating arrangement more or less of a conventional pontoon boat, but a pontoon boat is what they call a displacement hull. So it displaces water. It doesn't really get up on the water. Most of them are like that. Whereas a deck boat has the deck layout of a pontoon boat, but it's on what's called a planing hull. So now your range of travel on a given day is a lot greater. So a pontoon boat that might hit, I'm not sure, 18 to 25 mile an hour, obviously you wouldn't be able to go as far in a day if that mattered to you, if you're on a river or a long lake. Whereas a deck boat has the same seating arrangement as a pontoon boat, but because it's a planing hull and a bit more horsepower, you could easily go up river or up the end of a lake and back in a day without any worry about not getting home before dark, for example. So, and of course with a bow and stern ladder and tons of storage under all the seats, etc., they really have a lot of the pontoon qualities, bimini top, and etc. Same qualities as a pontoon boat, but on a planing hull that will go faster and get you more places.
Wow, excellent. So that's a great boat, obviously. It takes care of all aspects of it, for sure. Doug, I hate to cut you, because I know, we could talk about boats for hours here, as I mentioned earlier, but our time's coming to an end here. So I really want to thank you for taking the time away from your busy schedule to join us today. And hopefully, like I said, maybe we can chat later on once we know more about what's coming out in 2015. Again,
absolutely, I'd like to thanks for the invitation, and invite anybody to give us a call at any of the 3 stores, or just look us up on our website at gmas.ca. We'd be glad to answer any questions and talk about the summer of 2015.
Excellent. Okay, folks. That's if you've never been to George's Marine and Sports, as Doug mentioned, they've got 3 locations: Ottawa, Eganville, and Kingston. I know at the Eganville and the Ottawa stores, they have a great lineup of ATVs and snowmobiles. So you owe it to yourself to check them out. Again, as Doug mentioned, you can find them out online at www.gmas.ca. This show was brought to you today by Gambler Lures, better baits, better fishing, better time on the water. Lose, building innovative products that are faster, lighter, and stronger. Livingston Lures, the difference is clear. Sequoia Communications, high quality cabling products, network solutions, professional services are our highest priorities.